Hello, friend. So, in our third video, we will talk about how to configure Citrix UberAgent. There are many ways to do it. Uh, the best way I would say is the central config, which is the Citrix recommended way. When you are deploying it on multiple machines, it's better to keep configuration in one location and distribute to all the machines from there, so you have better control over this. Since from 7.4, Citrix has changed a little bit agent configuration method. So we will use a tool which is Uber config tool for doing all the configuration. You can download that tool from Citrix website. As it says, you can go on citrix.com, downloads and Citrix observability, and then you download the Uber agent config and support tools. We have already downloaded the binaries for Citrix 7.4 agent and the tool which we will use. And yeah, another method is through GPO, but in that way, you won't get much of the ESA configuration, or you need to find another way of replicating those definition files actually with all the agents. So I won't recommend that, but definitely we use some of the GPOs with the central config file management settings which are encoded in the GPO. That is the third option. And I mostly use these options to deploy configuration on all the machines in the environment. You could have different ways of configuration file uh, creation, create and do on deployments. There is no license file requirement to do this central config file management deployment for the Uber agent. But let's start with our first, which is the normal. We will install the agent on one machine, and then we will use tools to generate configuration, and then we will go through with little bit configuration file manually. So let's start with our first area, deploying agents on one of the machine. As we said, we have already deployed a Citrix lab quickly, and everything is working. Storefront is configured. We don't have Netscaler at the moment now. In some of the videos we have done Netscaler. That will be also done later, but I would be able to show you how you configure Netscaler configuration, how you can, what configuration you need to do in the config file to fetch Netscaler configuration um, and Netscaler events into the Splunk via UberAgent. So let's go with the simple stuff. This is my domain controller. As I said, we can monitor all the Windows machines through Citrix Uber. It's not only Citrix-based components. Uh, we will go with our deployments, and then we will go with our endpoint stuffs. And we are doing this POC, this video with the Splunk. If you have Elasticsearch, you could definitely use um, that in your environment, or you have Azure Monitor or other solutions. There are n number of solutions which supported by Uber. You can read on the Citrix website. So let's go and start with our easy stuffs. Installing agents on the my domain controller. It's a not Citrix machine. It's a normal Windows machine. Yeah, it will set up permissions and all the delete existing configuration if you had an Uber installed on your machine. Mm. Yeah, I have in the Splunk. You have seen that we have configured HTTP event collector. We have a key for that. We have configured TCP. We will be using TCP actually to. We are not using UDP. You could change some environment. Some companies can change the ports numbers actually, but we're gonna use a default one port which is 19500. I think we are there very soon. There it is. We have one inputs. In the last video, we created this configuration. If you missed this out, go back and look into last video. The port number is this. Yeah. So let's start, and UberAgent has been installed. Now we will see if we have installed the UberAgent on our Windows machine. Yes, it is. I can check if I have, oh, there is no port blocking between, just to verify the connections. PowerShell. So I will go to the PowerShell node. Now we'll just testnet the, yeah, it's a lab hyphen Splunk 01. Let's see, there is no port blocking. Then failed. So now we are able to ping our Splunk server. There was some wrong gateway configured on the Splunk server that caused the issue. And now we will check our communication once again. Now we can see the communication is through. So this was just an be sure that there is no blocking. And now we will go back to our initial installation of the Uber which we were doing. Because there was some troubleshooting in the middle. Okay, so we install the UberAgent, and UberAgent must be installed in this location. Right, there is no configuration file. Then where is the configuration file? Right, this is empty. So what to do now? As I said, in 7.4, Citrix has changed the methodology of configuration file. In 7.3, if you install it, you get the configuration file in the installation while you install. You will find it there, and you copy it from program files to program data. And then yeah. But then we use tools actually to do a configuration, and then we run design administrator. We say configure Uber agents. And why I would recommend using this tool, because Citrix updates all the new configuration file, and all the ESAs and all these definitions are placed in the GitHub directory. So if you are using this tool to configure the UberAgent or generating the UberAgent configuration file, this will download the latest definition files from Citrix GitHub. And then we are using, yeah, as I said, if you have Elasticsearch or different systems, but we use Splunk, and we using protocol HTTP. And in my environment, I have a lab slk01 dot, and the port number is 19500. And then it needs a token number. And for the token number, we need to go to our Splunk actually. I don't have a license file, otherwise you could define the license file here. But if you have a license file, you can define the location of the license file in here, and then it will pack that license file into the configuration for the agents. But when we will use C centralized config way of configuring Uber agents, the third option talk about, there we don't need a license file. Here it will allow us to go without license file, but yeah. Disable certification validation. Then I would just need a token key, which we created in the last videos. Go to the settings of this. Okay, here need to go here, data inputs. Yeah, you already have a Citrix. We installed the Splunk app for Uber um, in our last video. If you haven't seen that, go back and see those videos, and you will see how we did that. But let's wait for the configuration file, the token key to show up, so that we can use that token key here. I'm sure I haven't saved it last time here, but yeah, it's in the system, so don't worry, we will get it now. System is taking a little time because we rebooted all the machines. Now we go to the distribute data collector. And here is my token key, which I needed. Come on, show up. Copy. Go back here. Paste here. Copied. Copy token keys. Okay, I need to save it into some of the notepad, and then move it to document folders. Okay, and then I will save this file here. So yeah, the domain controller name is something different. We just leave it. And now we will configure the UberAgent config file. Uh, and that's what we see it here. Yeah, we were trying to copy the file. And then we can copy paste this file to our 192.168.1, and then C drive. And then we place in temp. So now we have the configuration, the token into our C drive, and then we take it from here. We paste it on this, and then you will click on apply. This tool will download all the new definitions from internet from this GitHub directory. You can see the logs here. It says no lessons file. Okay. All right. Now we close it out. And now we should be able to verify the data. Uh, mm. So we have configuration. Now these all files are downloaded from generated by the tool. And here is the main files actually we added. So if I go with this file, in this file, there are a lot of settings you need to read about what you want to enable and not. But let's go to the main. Here it is. This is the receiver settings we did tool. If you want to monitor a net scaler, you have a section about this. Here is the section for the net scaler. You can read this, and then you can define the configuration here. You can get configuration according to the requirement. You can also do an Citrix cloud monitoring with Uber. Like you can use Uber to fetch Citrix data from Citrix cloud and show into the what is it Splunk. I've done it, so I know how it works. You just need to make sure that you have a machine which is talking to the Citrix cloud. The ports are open, and that machine will be work as an mediator between. I call it log collector now. So you can use the same log collector file to talk to the netscaler and fetch the logs, and then forward to the Splunk and do the same machine can do the for the Citrix cloud as well. So you don't need multiple machines. Or you can use any of the less load machines to do this. We will talk about it more in the later video. So this is all about our first option, how you uh, do a configuration for the UberAgent locally. Don't forget to watch next video about how we will do it through the GPO and central configuration option, which is the third.